Alright guys, today we're working on the Integra. I don't know why it keeps breaking, like little things keep breaking, so what we need to fix today is this hideous sound it's making. Let me show you guys real quick. So let's fire her up, him up. This car's a him feels, I don't know. Let's see what it's doing. Noise is absolutely hideous. So here's where I think it's coming from. So that now leaves us with, I'm pretty sure, bad intake manifold gasket. I mean, I can feel the gasket here, it already feels kind of crumbled. Looking online, a lot of people have said they've seen the same thing. It makes that noise when the intake manifold, some sort of gasket here is leaking. So you can hear the roots in the supercharger spinning, and that's the sound we're hearing. If I give it throttle, the noise goes away. So when there's a little more vacuum or load on the engine, it kind of bypasses it. But while it's kind of sitting at like a negative vacuum, we're hearing it right now. To add to that, I also have this plenum spacer, or like intake manifold spacer. And I kind of was able to talk to some more people about it, and everyone has no idea what that's for and why you run on a supercharger. No one has. So I'm going to ditch it. And for those that saw the rebuild, I did put new gaskets on there, but you know, it kind of sucks that they're already bad. So I got a Honda thermal. I got a Honda thermal gasket. So these guys are supposed to reduce intake temps because they're able to create a barrier, a thermal barrier. I think it's like 5 degrees Celsius or something like that. You'll see a drop in. I can't remember exactly, but it's supposed to be more resilient to heat, which this guy generates a lot of heat. So this is only better for this setup, and I believe they're reusable as well. So we're definitely going to have to pull the injectors off. Let's see here. Got my kill switch. It's hidden. It's extremely hidden. No one will ever know where it is. And pump some of the fuel out of the system. And let's pull the injectors off. The other thing I need to find, I don't know if you guys can see it. There's oil right there around that area. And after I drive, I'll get a little drip on the ground. And initially I thought it was coming from the timing cover. But it's like super clean in there. So these cam seals aren't leaking, and down that one you definitely can't see. But by the oil pump in the sprocket down there, it's totally dry. So none of those seals are leaking. I wonder if the valve cover is leaking. It is a little wet right here. So it could be making its way down there. I also know these oil pumps are notorious to, not oil pump, oil pans are notorious to seal. They're really hard to seal up, which would explain the drip on the ground, but I don't know why it would be getting right there. Or there's a hole in the block. And if that's the case, can I get an F in the chat? Looking right there though, let's see if I can get the camera in. This is gonna be sideways. Looking right there, I see a little bit of oil. So yeah, maybe it is the valve cover dripping down. So we'll just get a new one. Probably an OEM one this time. Luckily those are super easy to change, so we'll be doing that today also. I don't know why this Honda doesn't like oil. It burns it, it spits it out, it blows it through the oil cap. Next thing I need to figure out after I fix all this stuff is I need to figure out a catch can setup. This setup built a lot of crankcase pressure. Already lost a couple oil caps, blew the dipstick, you name it. Everything's routed correctly, but just doing some research, Hondas naturally make a lot of crankcase pressure, so adding some boost to it really enhances that, we'll say. First thing we'll tackle though is the leak here. I hope the manifold isn't cracked. It'd be really sad, but I have friends who can weld it for me. Yeah. So let's get the fuel rail off, and then let's get the supercharger off, and the manifold off. Reverse that process, see if that noise goes away, and then we'll tackle the valve cover. All right, so we just got the injectors off. So those are the top manifold bolts there, and then these 4 Allen bolts here, one with the socket in it. These are what hold the supercharger onto the manifold. So next we're going to work that off. That looks like it's gonna be a pain. It's just so tight here that, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Definitely gonna be 300ZX status. Speaking of 300ZX, we just sold the white one. Makes me sad. So, had a bit of a heart attack because I pulled this bolt out and got about that much out of it. But looking in there, they are actually plugs, to which then there's the actual bolts for the supercharger inside of there. So, whoo, that scared me. Okay, new diagnosis. So my first thought before off camera, I just tightened all the supercharger bolts to see, maybe that's the issue. And now learning that these aren't the actual bolts, I moved this back to where it was, but that's how loose it is. This one I haven't touched at all. Let's see. Oop, come on. Oh, that PCV hose is in the way. Let's see. Okay, haven't touched this one yet. That's way too loose. So now it comes apart. I'm not too deep into this. Do I tighten these and see if the leak goes away? Because for all we know, that carb cleaner was going here, drizzling down and into that area down there. Let's tighten them. We're gonna tighten them. Less work for me to do. I changed my mind again. We're gonna commit. Just take it off. Just do it. We're already here. I already know it's gonna fix it, and then something else is gonna happen. I'm gonna have to pull it off anyway. So let's just do it. Next area of difficulty is gonna be, that's the bypass hose right there that I'm lighting up. That's the only thing holding the supercharger on, I believe. And all the little accessories, but we'll get to that in a bit. Anyway, let's get that. So the supercharger's loose. It's hanging there now. It's resting on whatever it's resting on. The next challenge is, how am I gonna wiggle it out of here? So that's the next fun part we're gonna figure out, I'm sure. Uh-oh, I got my injectors. That would help. That would help. I got rid of one 300ZX and I got another one. There's our gasket. So I don't know where I'm gonna be able to find another one of these. Had a hard time online. Gonna try my luck at the auto parts store. Otherwise, I have a sheet of gasket material, and we're just gonna make our own. So new game plan. I'm gonna leave the supercharger chilling there while I try to get the manifold bolts. I have enough room to get an extension underneath now. It's gonna be kind of a pain. I think when people installed these, from what I understand, is the supercharger went in, manifold went on, bolted it together. So yes, we're gonna start with that. So I've got an intricate extension setup. I got one with a magnet on it. So this one, when it goes in, it'll have a magnet on the inside of it. I should probably use a short socket though now. A wobbly boy, one wobbly boy for the tight angles I'm gonna be at. Small extension, long extension, my ratchet. So just 300ZX things. Time to pull this bad boy off. Oh god, we're leaking coolant. Oh, the coolant's everywhere. Oh. Well, I'm getting tired of the dogs anyway. Guys. There we go. And we got a manifold and all the coolant's now leaking out. Cool. So the manifold's out. Here's the supercharger. It's pretty big actually. But just in case, there's a banana for scale. Okay. Alright, so we couldn't find the gasket for this, so we got good old Sharpie, and we're gonna cut it out. So we're gonna do, since this is a square gasket, we're gonna use a fresh corner. That way there's two sides I don't have to cut, so there's only two sides for me to screw up. And then a robot already did that side perfect. Cut the gasket out, looks absolutely perfect, that's why I'm not showing it in camera. I'm gonna put some silicone, just a thin layer on the Honda thermal gasket, just to help it seal a little better and to reduce the chances of me having to pull this off again. So, yes. Alright, thin layer of RTV is smeared on. That's just the way I like to do it. And gasket is in, gasket's present. Oh, there's gasket there, there's gasket everywhere. Oh god. Now, let me get those 3 bolts on real quick. Those are the ones with the odd lengths. So we're getting the supercharger back on, getting these last bolts on. It's really hard to do with one of these guys. I'm sure there's a tool out there that's extended. Like I have a short one, like this, but the socket part won't go through. So I'm probably gonna put some leverage on the pliers or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's what. Fellas, we got the supercharger on. It's on. I had a small heart attack. I went to go touch the belt, and it was loose. And as I mentioned earlier, I didn't loosen it. I just let the supercharger come off. Had a small heart attack. Realized something wasn't on right, but then I forgot. I took that spacer off that was in there, which the spacer pushed the supercharger out this way, which would put more tension on the belt. But now that it's gone, it brought it in closer. Belt was loose. Easy adjustment, and we're ready to roll. So just got the new valve cover in. Put a little bit of Honda Bond on there. Well, gray RTV, but very similar. Let's bolt everything up, button everything up, and let's go gap some Subarus. Alright guys, let's torque down that valve cover. All right, everything's buttoned up. Let's see what happens. A little nervous because I'm not confident in my diagnostic. Like, it makes sense. I asked Facebook, all that stuff, but still. So let's see here. The kill switch is still engaged. Yep, kill switch is engaged. Let's disarm it. Okay, I can't press the throttle. So I think I put the throttle cable on wrong. It might be misfiring. I might have put one of these on backwards. Yeah, that's it right there. 1 second. We did it! Yes! We did it! I was so nervous to start it up. I need to fix the throttle cable and some tiny things. But yeah, no supercharger leak. Yes! Yes, success. Success. Cool. I was really nervous to do all that work and it not be that or like a cracked manifold. So that was a very slight possibility the manifold's cracked, so that's good. So I'm gonna button some things up real quick, guys, and let's go for a little drive. Let's cruise around. I want to show you guys what this thing can do. Got the Integra here in the Canyon. Let me show you. The car feels a little better from the last time I drove it, so let me show you guys what it is capable of. Now I haven't fully got a full understanding of the way the dynamics of the car are. So I'm not gonna push it too hard, but you'll see. This car is extremely fun to drive, though. Oh, there's a bad bump here somewhere. All right, we're good. We're good. There it is, right there. All right, I'll do a little second gear pull. We caught the cars already. So there's the Integra, guys. Little show off of it. A lot of traffic today on this Sunday, so anyway, I'm gonna flip around, drive this thing back, and yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys like the Integra builds, or you guys like Z's, or you guys like racing track canyon drives, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.